Hi everyone, Wong here. So back at the Photo Keynote 2016, Panasonic has announced three Leica variable aperture zoom lenses. They have then released the 12-60 and also the 8-18 lenses, and both of them received very positive review from pretty much everyone. So Photo Keynote 2018 is actually not that far away, and Panasonic has finally released the last of the three Leica lens, which is this one, the Leica DG Vario-Elmarit 50-200 f2.8-4 telephoto lens. So I've been using this lens for the last couple of weeks and have been testing this lens in the real world situation. Let me share with you what I like and what I don't like about this lens in this video. This weatherproof lens is mostly made of metal. It feels very solid. The zoom action is very smooth and the lens extends a bit when you are zooming in. The small manual focus ring at the front is also very smooth, but then I doubt anyone will want to use the manual focus ring because the autofocus speed and the operation is just very fast, very quiet, and also very accurate. At least when I'm using this lens with the Panasonic Lumix G9. Now if you are a Olympus user, I have also tried the lens with a Olympus EM1 Mark II running the firmware 2.0. The autofocus speed is also very fast. I would say maybe marginally slower than when I use it on the G9, but the difference is very tiny. So yeah, if you are a Olympus shooter, yeah, you definitely don't have to worry about the autofocus performance because it's pretty much identical when you are using on the latest Olympus body with the latest firmware. So there are two switches on the body. One is for you to switch between autofocus and manual focus, and the other one is for you to turn on or turn off the optical image stabilizer. The optical image stabilizer, especially when you put it on a G9 which has the dual IS2 feature, and the image stabilizer works very well. I can shoot at very slow shutter speed and I can still get very high percentage of photo that is perfectly sharp. Now the lens comes with a reversible lens hood. The lens hood can be easily installed and removed onto the lens. So overall the lens feels really great when you hold it on your hand, and the build quality is just fantastic. So just like the other two Leica lenses, the 8-18 and 12-60, this 50-200 lens also has a variable aperture design from f2.8 to f4. And this is a chart to show you how the maximum aperture changes when you are zooming out from the 50mm all the way to 200mm. So unlike a lot of zoom lenses when its maximum aperture increases rapidly once you zoom out from its widest angle, the maximum aperture for the Leica 50-200 lens increases slowly as you zoom out, and the f4 maximum aperture is reached at about 180mm focal length. With both the 8-18 and the 12-60 Leica lenses deliver excellent image sharpness, I had very high expectation about this 50-200 Leica lens. Fortunately, I wasn't disappointed. From center to corner, the image sharpness remained from very high to excellent even when you are shooting at maximum aperture. Now with the release of this 50-200 Leica lens, there are a total of 3 Leica telephoto lenses that covering similar focal length. So I did some comparison and show you how the sharpness of this 50-200 compared to the other two Leica telephoto lenses, which are the Leica 100-400 and also the Leica 200 f2.8 prime lens. So first, let's look at the photo I shot at 200mm. So if you want to see the better quality comparison photo, please go to my blog. I've put the link to my blog in the video description, and there are also a lot more sample photos I took using this lens on my blog review as well. At 200mm, when you look at the center, all the three lenses are all very sharp even at the maximum aperture. I would say the Leica 200mm f2.8 lens is slightly sharper than the 50-200 and the 100-400. But the difference is really tiny that it probably doesn't matter when you are shooting the real life photos. When you look at the corners, the Leica 50-200 and the Leica 200mm lenses are pretty much neck and neck when it comes to sharpness. The Leica 100-400 in comparison is a little bit softer even when you stop down all the way to f8. So because of this Leica 50-200mm lens also support the new 1.4 and 2x teleconverter that was released with the Leica 200 f2.8 lens. With the 1.4x teleconverter attached to the 50-200mm lens at 200mm, I get 280mm focal length, and I also attach the 1.4x teleconverter to the 200 f2.8 lens, and also compare it with the Leica 100-400mm lens at 300mm, and here are the results. So if you look at the center, at first the result from the three lenses look very similar and they are all pretty sharp, but after looking at it a little bit closer and a little bit longer, I can see that the 50-200mm lens with the 1.4 teleconverter attached is slightly sharper than the Leica 100-400mm lens. The Leica 200mm lens with the teleconverter attached is probably a bit sharper than the other two lenses. If you compare the corners, the Leica 200mm lens is again the sharpest of the three lenses, and the Leica 50-200mm lens is probably marginally softer. The 100-400mm lens at the corner is definitely not as sharp as the other two lenses. So for the last comparison, I have attached the 2x teleconverter to both the Leica 50-200mm lens and also the Leica 200 f2.8 lens. And let's look at the result when it's compared to the Leica 100-400mm lens at 400mm. Remember, because of the 2x crop factor of the micro four thirds system, at 400mm pretty much means you have the 800mm 35mm equivalent focal length. Now, when we look at the center, I think the Leica 50-200mm impressed me the most because its center sharpness is already pretty sharp at f8, which is the maximum aperture once you attach the 2x teleconverter. And of course, the Leica 200 f2.8 lens is not bad at all. Now, if you look at the corners, surprisingly this time is the Leica 100-400mm lens that is slightly sharper than the 50-200mm lens. The Leica 200mm f2.8 lens, even with the 2x teleconverter, is still the sharpest lens out of the three when you look at the corner sharpness at 400mm. I would say even though there is a slight difference in the image sharpness, all the three lenses deliver very good image sharpness at 400mm. With any telephoto lens, it's very easy to blur the background, and because of that, the quality of the bokeh or the out of focus background area is very important. So let's have a look at what the bokeh from this Leica 50-200mm lens looks like. As you can see from this photo, bokeh is really round and smooth at maximum aperture f4 and also at f5.6. There's a little bit of halo and there's also a little bit of onion ring, but none of them is too distracting. At f8, the bokeh is starting to turn into a polygon shape, but the bokeh overall is still look pretty pleasant. Lens flare is very well controlled. So the first 2 weeks I was testing this lens, I actually don't have the lens hook, but I test and shot a lot of photos in real life, and I almost never have any problem with the lens flare. Next, let's have a look at the vignetting. Have a look at the 50mm focal length first. There's a bit of vignetting at f2.8, but I don't think it's too serious. At f4, it becomes a lot better, a lot less noticeable, and then from f5.6 onwards, there's virtually unnoticeable. So next, let's have a look at the 200mm focal length. At 200mm, you can see a little bit of vignetting at maximum aperture, which is f4, but from f5.6 onwards, then there is pretty much no vignetting noticeable. And if you attach the 1.4x teleconverter or the 2x teleconverter to the lens, then you virtually can't see any vignetting even when you're shooting at the maximum aperture. So as I have said at the beginning of the video, the autofocus performance of this Leica 50-200mm lens is excellent. The autofocus speed is lightning fast. The autofocus operation is very smooth and silent, which makes it suitable for shooting video as well. Even with the 1.4 times teleconverter or the 2 times teleconverter attached to the lens, the autofocus performance is still very good. The autofocus speed is still fast and it doesn't hunt much at all, at least when I'm shooting during the daytime. So overall, this Leica 50-200mm f2.8-4 lens is another very solid lens added to the Micro Four Thirds lineup. As you may have noticed, I have actually not complained anything about this lens at all in this review. It's because pretty much everything about this lens is fantastic. From the build quality to image quality to autofocus performance, there is really nothing I can complain about this lens. The 100 to 400mm equivalent focal length make it a very versatile telephoto lens. And the lens is also quite compact and it's not too heavy, so you could probably put it in your camera bag and carry it with you every day if you want. In fact, if I want to travel and want to carry minimum gear and I still want to have very good image quality, I would probably bring something like a G9 with the Leica 12-60 and then also this one 50-200mm. With these two lenses together, I can pretty much shoot any kind of photo that I would normally shoot. And surprisingly, even with the 1.4 times teleconverter or the 2 times teleconverter attached to the lens, the image quality, the autofocus performance is still at a very high level. So price is probably the only one thing that will stop you from buying the Leica 50-200mm lens, because it's not a cheap lens at all. But frankly, I think there are many reasons that would make you want to bring out a credit card and then go to a camera shop and then bring home one of these Leica 50-200mm lens. So with this Leica DG Vario-Elmarit 50-200 f2.8-4 lens, Panasonic has successfully created 3 awesome lenses that would make many Micro Four Thirds shooters very happy. Now I'm wondering what Panasonic will be bringing out next. Let's see if we will find out more at the Photogina this year. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you found it useful and informative. If you like this video, please hit the like button and share it with your friends. And I will see you next time.